Guys, thank you for joining. Julle almal, dankie dat julle aangesluit het by my. Dit is nou 4 uur op 'n Vrydagmiddag. Ek weet dis nou nie die perfekte tyd om met julle te gesels nie. Ek weet baie van julle is op pad terug huis toe van die werk af. Maar hierdie ons sal natuurlik hierdie video beskikbaar wees op ons sosiale media, so julle kan altyd na die tyd daarna gaan luister. Thank you for joining everyone. I've got a very important subject or issue that I want to discuss with you this afternoon. For those of you that have seen the banner that went out, I said I was going to comment on the SONA debates that took place after the SONA 2026. Obviously, these were political parties were given an opportunity to respond to the SONA speech, and the president thereafter, President Ramaphosa, had an opportunity to respond to comments that were made by the various political parties. I watched the debate, the various debates and comments from all the different political parties this week on YouTube. It was absolute chaos. It was embarrassing to watch, to say the least. So I'm not going to waste time, honestly. To be quite honest with you, if you are interested in what those political leaders and parties had to say, go and look up SONA debates on YouTube and go and see for yourselves. I'm not going to waste my breath on that. I'm not going to waste my time on that. I've got a very important issue that I would rather like to discuss with you, and that is the Firearms Control Amendment Bill that is staring us in the face. It was mentioned during SONA. Reference was made to this bill and the ANC's intention, or government's intention, to pass this bill into law, and I think that is what I really want to discuss with you today. Ek wil met julle praat oor hierdie nuwe wysigingswet op die besit van en die beheer van vuurwapens in Suid-Afrika. Dit is 'n baie ernstige, baie ernstige saak, en ek hoop julle spit julle ore. Ek praat nie nou net met die UIM se volgelinge en se kiesers nie, ek praat nou met almal, alle mense daar buite, almal van julle wat ore het, moet luister asseblief. Ek praat spesifiek met julle mense wat aan partye behoort of partye ondersteun wat in die regering van nasionale eenheid is of in die parlement is, wat verteenwoordig word in die parlement. Ek praat spesifiek met julle. Just to repeat that in English, I'm addressing people all across South Africa today. This is not just a message for the UIM and the UIM's supporters and the UIM's voters. I would think that this message is actually more specifically directed to those people that support parties that are currently either in the GNU or in government, in parliament, in the National Assembly. So the ANC has proposed a bill. That bill has been proposed some time ago. This is not the first time that this bill has come up. It's the Firearms, it's an amendment to the existing Firearms Control Act. That act entails a lot of things. There's a lot of things that's covered in this act. There's a lot of new changes and amendments that are being proposed in the bill. The one that stood out to me, and the one that I've taken the most cognizance of, and the one that's most alarming to me, is the fact that this bill is going to make it virtually impossible for people, or very difficult, if not impossible, for people to acquire firearm licenses, licensed under Section 13, which means firearm licenses for self-defense. So wat hierdie nuwe wysigingswet poog om te doen, is om dit vir ons bitter moeilik, indien nie onmoontlik te maak, om vuurwapens te laat lisensieer of lisensies te bekom vir vuurwapens vir die doeleindes van selfverdediging nie. That is very, very alarming. This is a very, very serious issue. Let me tell you something quickly. I heard it this morning while I was doing research on this topic. Someone said that if a government tries to disarm its citizens, it must be for one of two reasons. Either government is scared of its citizens, and they are scared of possible uprising against government, or they are doing this because they have certain ulterior motives or devious plans that they want to carry out. Malevolent plans or agendas. It can only be one of those two reasons. Because we know, we are not stupid, we know, and there are court cases that have proven this, that amending the Firearms Control Act is not going to address escalating crime in South Africa. And the intention, make no mistake, the ANC's intention with this act, it's got nothing to do with bringing down crime in South Africa or protecting the people of South Africa. It's got nothing to do with it at all. It's an ANC ideology. It's part of their ideology, and this is being done for political reasons. So kom ek herhaal dit in Afrikaans. Die rede hoekom en ek sê die ANC, want dit is die ANC se beleid. Dis die regering, wel volgens die ANC is dit die regering wat hierdie wet wil wysig, maar ons weet dit is 'n ANC beleid en dit is polities gedrewe. Dit het absoluut niks te doen daarmee dat hulle poog om, of dat hulle hierdeur wil probeer poog om misdaad in Suid-Afrika te bekamp of misdaadsyfers af te bring nie. Dit het niks daarmee te doen nie, want die enigste mense wat geaffekteer gaan word is ons wetsgehoorsame burgers. Ons verantwoordelike mense wat lisensies het vir vuurwapens. So the only people that are going to be affected by this bill is going to be law-abiding citizens that are responsible gun owners. The criminals don't care. They don't care because they acquire firearms illegally in any case. So what government should be doing is disarming the criminals of this country, not its law-abiding citizens. That is what government should focus on, and that is what government is supposed to be doing. But no, they want to disarm the people. They want to disarm us. Having access or having a firearm that's our last line of defense. We cannot, unfortunately, we cannot fully rely on SAPS anymore. And I'm not dissing SAPS. If you don't believe me, go and watch the Madlanga Commission. Go and watch those sessions, those ad hoc committee sessions and Madlanga inquiry sessions on YouTube. Then you will see what's going on in SAPS. I said last night, I was speaking on Joy Radio, I said that we all know, I mean, I'm not generalizing here. You know, not all police officials or law officials are corrupt. No, definitely not. But the rot is unfortunately so large that it has severely hampered SAPS's ability to do their work. Not only that, obviously, we have discussed other issues in the past like lack of resources and, I mean, the fact that they don't have access to vehicles and lack of training and lifestyle. There's a whole list of reasons why SAPS can't do their work the way they're supposed to. Not even mentioning, I'm not talking about the corruption here. That is a whole different subject all on its own. That is being exposed through these Madlanga inquiries, Madlanga Commission inquiries. So laat ek dit net in Afrikaans herhaal. Ons kan nie ten volle staat maak op die polisie meer nie. Ons kan nie. Dit is 'n feit. En ek is nie nou besig om op die polisie te pik nie, maar ons almal weet dit. Mense, ons almal weet dit. Kom ons wees nou reguit met mekaar. Let's call a spade a spade. So ons laaste linie van verdediging is om onsself te kan beskerm. En hulle wil dit by ons wegvat. Once that bill gets passed into law, you can kiss democracy goodbye. We can literally kiss democracy in this country goodbye. And if we are not a democratic country or a democratic governance system in South Africa, if we are not a democracy, then what are we? What other options are there? Because we have to be classified as something. If we are not a democracy, then what are we? A dictatorship, a policed state, a communist government, what are we? If we are not a democracy. So this is a subject that lies very close to my heart. This is something that I am very, I won't say passionate about, concerned about is the right term to use. We need to put pressure. You people of South Africa, those of you that support parties that are in the GNU, part of the GNU, in the National Assembly, you need to put pressure on your parties. If this is something that concerns you, if you are serious about this, if you are serious about having the ability to protect yourselves and your families, if you don't want that right to be taken away from you, if you don't want our fate to land in the hands of the criminals out there, then you need to oppose this bill, or the passing of this bill into law. And the only way that we are going to oppose it is if the parties, the people that represent us in the National Assembly, stand against it and vote against it. There will be an opportunity for public participation, but I can tell you right now, in most instances, if not all, government doesn't even care. They don't care what the public has to say. And if you want a prime example, go look at the Bella Bill. Look at how the Bella Bill was passed into law. There were so many meetings held. There were so many opportunities what's the word? There were so many opportunities for the public to comment on the Bella Bill. Submissions were heard. There were civic meetings held where the public gave submissions on their reasons why they were against the Bella Bill. Government at the end of the day didn't listen. At the end of the day, there were 78 votes against the passing of the Bella Bill into law, and there were 233 votes in favor of it. The parties that stood against it and the parties that voted against it were the Freedom Front Plus, the DA, and ACDP. The parties that were in favor of the passing of the Bella Bill, the ANC, MK, EFF, and a whole bunch of other smaller parties. For this bill to pass into law, there will have to be a 2/3 majority vote in favor of it for it to pass into law. Now, if you look at what happened with NHI, if you look at what happened with Bella, this law or this bill being authorized seems very likely. It seems very likely. Now, here's the problem with the GNU. I mean, the GNU, if you look at the term, or if you look at the abbreviation, what does GNU stand for? It stands for Government of National Unity. In other words, the parties that form part of the GNU should actually vote as one. But they don't. So what's the use? What's the purpose of having a GNU then? Wat is die nut daarin om 'n regering van nasionale eenheid te hê wanneer daai partye wat deel vorm van daai regering van nasionale eenheid nie saamstem oor goed nie, teen mekaar stem? Is dit dan nie op die einde van die dag maar net nog steeds 'n ANC regering nie, met 'n paar pelle wat hulle nou gemaak het, 'n paar ekstra vriende wat hulle hou net waar hulle is, wat hulle, hoe sê hulle, 'n lifeline gegooi het of gegee het, en nou sit die ANC presies waar hulle sit vir die laaste 30 jaar, en daar was 'n geleentheid om hulle uit te kry. Ek weet daar was argumente gewees en daar was opinies gewees dat ja, maar weet jy wat, hoe sê hulle in Engels, we chose the lesser of two evils. Nee, kyk wat het nou gebeur, kyk wat gaan nou aan, look what's happening. These so-called opposition parties, EFF, MK, they are voting with the ANC in any case. They voted with them on the Bella Bill, they voted with them on NHI, on the Land Appropriation Bill. So what's the purpose and what's the use of having a GNU? There is no benefit whatsoever. So I am appealing to the people of South Africa. Put pressure on your political parties. They are representing you in council, not council, National Assembly, in government. If you are not in favor of this bill being passed into law, you need to open your mouths and you need to hold your leadership, your leaders, your party leaders, you need to hold them accountable. Otherwise, they're going to sell you out and you're going to vote for them again. So I am appealing, hier is 'n pleidooi aan die mense wat stem vir die partye wat in die parlement is. Veral die partye wat deel is van die regering van nasionale eenheid. DA, Vryheidsfront, ACDP, Action SA, IFP, Good, PA, Rise Mzansi, Bossa, almal van julle. Ons hoef nie oral saam te stem in die lewe nie. Ons gaan nooit nie. Maar ek dink een ding wat ons almal oor kan saamstem, is veiligheid. Ons veiligheid as mense van Suid-Afrika en ons familie se veiligheid. Dis een ding waaroor ons kan saamstem. So ek vra vir julle mooi, asseblief, sit druk op julle partye, sit druk op julle leierskap, laat hulle hierdie wetgewing teenstaan wanneer die geleentheid homself voordoen. Dat hierdie nie 'n wet word nie. Dat dit nie 'n amptelike wet word nie of 'n amptelike wetgewing word nie, want ek sê vir julle, dan is ons in ons moer in. So let me translate that in English. There's no word for moer in English, but let me translate. I'm speaking and I'm appealing to those people that support parties like the DA, the Freedom Front Plus, Rise Mzansi, Bossa, Action SA, IFP, Good, all of them. All the parties that are represented, all the people that are represented in the National Assembly. Put pressure on your parties, hold them accountable, hold your leadership accountable. If you value your rights or your right to protect yourselves, if you value that, if you don't want to leave your fate in the hands of criminals or the government, then you need to hold your leadership accountable and you need to make sure that your parties don't sell you out. That's very, very important. We can differ on a lot of things as political parties and political leaders, whatever. And we are always going to differ on a number of things. But one thing that we shouldn't differ on is safety and security. And having the right to protect ourselves when we have to. That is something we should all agree on. Because if you are not agreeing to this, if you are not agreeing with what I am saying, then I have some serious questions for you. So please, let's stand together as a nation, all political parties that don't follow the ANC's ideology, that don't support their policies. Let's stand together, please. Let's fight this. Let's resist this in the National Assembly, in Parliament. There is going to be an opportunity to vote on this bill. Don't vote in favor of this bill. And if the worst happens and this thing passes the first phase or whatever of implementation and it becomes available for public participation or comment, then we need to get our people and we need to speak. We need to speak out on this. We need to address this. We need to make our submissions. And if we have to, march. Legal protest. There's such a thing as legal protesting in this country. It's legal. And there are certain rules that prescribe and determine how you are, what the boundaries are as far as picketing and protesting is concerned in South Africa. Legal protesting. But we need to take this very, very, very seriously. Very seriously. I'm mumbling my words and my Engels is nie lekker nie. Julle moet my maar verskoon. As ek excited raak of ek raak ook so 'n bietjie demoerend en dan slaat ek maar oor terug Afrikaans toe, maar ek probeer maar julle almal akkommodeer en met julle almal dat julle my almal mooi kan verstaan. But this is something that is very serious. This has got nothing to do with campaigning. I'm not campaigning for the UIM. This has got nothing to do with campaigning. This has got everything to do with us having or protecting our right of self-defense, or protecting our rights of legal firearm ownership and being able to protect ourselves. We are living in a violent place. South Africa is a violent country. I don't need to remind you of this. This is not this is not America, Canada. This is the Wild West or the Wild South. And we cannot rely on other people or state-owned entities or whatever to protect us. We cannot. We have to at least be afforded that right. And that's all we are asking for. We are not asking government to protect us because they can't. I feel sorry for SAPS, for those people that work hard and that are dedicated. I feel sorry for those people because They are working under extreme conditions with little to no resources at all or support. But thank you to all the police members out there that are doing a good job and that take this job seriously and that put their lives on the line for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Hats off to you. But we also want to help you, and we need to be given that right, and we need to be afforded the ability to do so. And all we are asking for is just allow us to protect ourselves if we have to. If you can't, then don't stop us from doing it. Dis al wat ek voorvra. Dankie aan almal van julle daar buite wat hard werk, lede van die polisie, lede van die veiligheidsdienste, private security, almal van julle wat julle lewens op die spel plaas vir ons. Ons waardeer dit baie. Ons weet julle werk onder hagtelike omstandighede en ons weet julle sukkel en julle het nie ondersteuning nie en julle het nie al die, wat s'ie woord, die tools om julle job, om julle werk meeste van die tyd te doen nie. Ons weet dit. Maar ons sê vir julle dankie, ons waardeer julle. Al wat ons vra is, moenie ons reg wegvat om onsself te beskerm nie. Ons vra vir die regering. Ons vra vir hierdie regering van ons wat veronderstel is om te gee vir ons en veronderstel is om uit te kyk vir ons en ons belange op die hart te dra. Asseblief, dis nie hoe jy dit doen nie. En dan weer eens, aan al die partye daar buite, al die mense daar buite wat partye ondersteun, wat in posisies is om 'n verskil te maak of hierdie wetgewing teen te staan, maak so asseblief. Sit druk op julle partye, hou hulle verantwoordelik en kom ons maak seker dat hierdie wetgewing nie amptelik word nie. People, we can't sleep on this. Like I said, we slept on the Bella Bill, we slept on the NHI Bill, we slept on land reform or land claim without compensation. We slept on all of those bills. Those bills were passed, and I have yet to meet a person that says he was in favor of, that legislation being passed into law. I have not met such a person yet. So this is government just doing what government does, or the ANC rather. They are furthering their agenda and their political ideology at the expense of the people of South Africa. And those that are aligned with them, you are accomplices. You are complicit to this happening. So please, as a citizen of South Africa, not as a member of another political party, as a citizen of South Africa, I'm asking all of you to please stand up, stand against this, get up and resist this legislation and this bill. And like I said, for those of you that put pressure on your leadership, those of you that follow parties that are in positions to make certain decisions, put pressure on them. Don't let them sell you out. And let's just stand together, people. There are things that we can agree on. All of us. Doesn't matter who we are or which parties we support. There are things that we can agree on. 100%. And this is one such an example. So let's get together. Let's stand against this. Don't let the ANC have their way. And that's it. So I think this is a test. Let's not fail. On a lighter note, just quickly, final 5 minutes, I just want to say thank you to all of you that support us. Thank you to all of you. I really appreciate it. There are some of you, I want to mention a specific gentleman, Mr. Malcolm Groenberg. He has been a loyal supporter of the UIM for the last 5 years. He helps us out financially. He makes his donation every month, and he's been doing so for the last 4 years without failure. So, Mr. Groenberg, and to all of you that support us and help us through your messages, your donations, your well wishes, your encouraging messages that you send, I really, really appreciate it. This is not an easy job. Trust me. Doing this and running a party and being involved in politics, especially from the outside, is very, very difficult. It's difficult to motivate people. It's difficult to inspire people. And that is what we try to do every single day. If that is the only thing that we are trying to do, then it's a good thing. That is what Neil lived for, was to inspire people. And that is basically what we do as the UIM. We are hoping that things will change for us and that we will be given opportunities to do even more. But that depends on you. That depends on the people out there. Whether or not you want us there or not. We'll leave those decisions up to you. But nonetheless, thank you. Like I said, even internally in the UIM, we've got there's so many struggles, there's so many disagreements, conflict. This is normal. I think every party and every organization goes through this. It's not nice. But you know what? We are such a vastly different group of people that these things are bound to happen. But then what we do is we sort it out, we get up, we pick our heads up and we carry on. Because at the end of the day, we are doing this selflessly. What we are doing selflessly. For our families, our friends, our neighbors, the people of South Africa. That is all we are. That's all we want, and that's all we want to do. So, thank you for joining me. I'll speak to you guys again next week. But let's please keep watching this space. Keep your fingers on the pulse, and let's make sure that we stay in touch with what's happening around us. It's very important, so that people don't pull the wool over our eyes or surprise us with this nonsense that they are planning. Have a great day. I'll speak to you guys soon. Julle almal baie dankie dat julle my dat julle ingeskakel het. Ek waardeer dit. Versprei asseblief vir die boodskap en kom ons beklei teen hierdie absurde wetgewing wat hulle nou wil inbring. En kom ons staan saam. Daar waar ons kan saam staan, kom ons staan saam. Ons hoef nie altyd te beklei nie, ons hoef nie altyd te verskil nie. Daar is goed waaroor ons kan saamstem en wanneer daai geleenthede opduik, dan moet ons saam staan. Want op die einde van die dag, ek dink ons almal wil net dieselfde hê. Ons almal wil net gelukkig wees, gesond wees, van onsself en ons families kan sorg en elke aand in die bed gaan klim sonder om te worry of vrees te lewe. Ons vra so min, maar ons verdien so baie. Dankie julle almal, geniet julle dag, ons praat weer. Groetnis, bye bye.